China's Belt and Road Initiative, 10 groundbreaking projects set to transform global trade by 2025. Introduction. The Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), launched by President Xi Jinping in 2013, is an ambitious global development strategy aimed at enhancing connectivity and fostering trade across Asia, Europe, and Africa. As of its 10th anniversary in 2023, the initiative has seen investments surpassing $1 trillion, with over 200 cooperation agreements established across more than 150 countries. The BRI comprises two main components: the Silk Road Economic Belt, which focuses on land routes, and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road, dedicated to sea routes. By 2025, several groundbreaking projects under the BRI are expected to significantly reshape global trade dynamics. Key projects illustrating BRI's impact. 1. China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPC). One of the flagship projects of the BRI, the CPC aims to connect Gwadar Port in Pakistan to Kashgar in China's Xinjiang region. This $60 billion investment encompasses extensive infrastructure developments, including roads, railways, and energy projects. The corridor is expected to enhance trade connectivity between China, Pakistan, and Central Asia, providing a crucial trade route that bypasses maritime choke points. 2. Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Rail. Inaugurated in October 2023, the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Rail is Southeast Asia's first high-speed rail project. This 142-kilometer line drastically reduces travel time between the two cities from 3.5 hours to just 45 minutes, exemplifying the BRI's commitment to improving transportation infrastructure. The project is a critical step in enhancing regional connectivity and economic growth in Indonesia. 3. Digital connectivity initiatives. The BRI is not limited to physical infrastructure, it also focuses on digital connectivity. For instance, a satellite internet project in Mozambique aims to provide internet access to 1,000 villages, illustrating the initiative's potential to bridge the digital divide in developing regions. Such projects are vital for fostering economic activities and improving quality of life. 4. China-Laos Railway. The China-Laos Railway, which opened in December 2021, connects Kunming in China to Vientiane in Laos. This 414-kilometer railway facilitates trade and tourism, enhancing economic integration between the two countries. The project is expected to significantly increase the flow of goods and services, benefiting local economies. 5. China-Europe Railway Express. This network of freight trains connects various cities in China with key destinations in Europe, significantly reducing transportation time for goods. The China-Europe Railway Express has become a crucial component of the BRI, facilitating trade and enhancing economic ties between China and European countries. 6. Gwadar Port Development. As part of the CPC, the development of Gwadar Port is a strategic priority for China, providing access to the Arabian Sea. This deep sea port is being upgraded to handle larger vessels and increase cargo capacity, positioning it as a critical hub for trade in the region. 7. China-Mongolia-Russia Economic Corridor. This initiative aims to strengthen economic ties between China, Mongolia, and Russia through infrastructure development, trade facilitation, and investment cooperation. Key projects under this corridor include road and rail upgrades as well as energy collaborations. 8. Kyrgyz Gateway. Located on the border of Kazakhstan and China, the Kyrgyz Gateway is a logistics hub that plays a pivotal role in facilitating trade between Asia and Europe. The gateway is designed to streamline customs processes and improve the efficiency of cross-border trade. 9. Bangladesh-China-India-Myanmar Economic Corridor (BCIM). The BCIM corridor aims to enhance connectivity among Bangladesh, China, India, and Myanmar through improved road, rail, and maritime links. This initiative is expected to boost trade and investment, fostering regional economic integration. 10. Renewable energy projects. The BRI has also made significant strides in renewable energy with investments in solar, wind, and hydroelectric projects across various countries. These initiatives not only address energy needs but also contribute to sustainability goals aligning with global efforts to combat climate change. Common themes: 1. Investment scale and scope. The BRI's ambitious nature is reflected in the scale of its investments and the diversity of projects. From transportation infrastructure to digital connectivity and renewable energy, the initiative covers a wide range of sectors aiming to enhance global trade and economic growth. 2. Strategic political tool. Beyond economic benefits, the BRI serves as a strategic tool for China to extend its political influence and foster diplomatic ties with developing countries. Through infrastructure investments, China strengthens its presence in regions traditionally dominated by Western powers. 3. Debt concerns. Critics have raised concerns about debt trap diplomacy, where countries face challenges in repaying loans associated with BRI projects. This has led to calls for greater transparency and scrutiny of China's lending practices, particularly in developing nations. Differing perspectives. 1. Optimism versus skepticism. While proponents of the BRI, including the World Economic Forum, highlight its potential to transform global trade and infrastructure, skeptics point to diminishing economic returns and the political motivations behind China's investments. 2. Evolving strategy. In response to financial constraints and international criticism, China appears to be shifting its approach towards smaller and more elegant projects. This marks a departure from the previous focus on large-scale infrastructure developments, reflecting a more pragmatic strategy. Timeline of key events. 2013 – Launch of the BRI by Xi Jinping. 2015 – Inauguration of the CPEC, marking a significant milestone. 2017 – BRI incorporated into the Chinese Communist Party's constitution. 2023 – Completion of the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Rail, BRI investments exceed $1 trillion. Conclusion. As the BRI enters its second decade, it stands at a crossroads, facing challenges related to debt management, environmental sustainability, and geopolitical tensions. The initiative's ambitious projects are set to reshape global trade dynamics by 2025, but how effectively they address the concerns of recipient countries will determine their long-term success. The BRI represents a significant evolution in international infrastructure investment and geopolitical strategy, with the potential to redefine global economic relationships. As China recalibrates its approach, the world will be watching closely to see how the BRI unfolds in the coming years. Counterintuitive insights on China's Belt and Road Initiative BRI. 1. Perception versus reality of economic influence. Many perceive the BRI as a purely economic endeavor aimed at expanding China's trade reach through infrastructure development. However, a counterintuitive aspect is that the BRI operates as a significant geopolitical tool for China, allowing it to exert influence over participating countries. This blurs the lines between economic aid and political leverage, suggesting that the initiative is as much about establishing control as it is about fostering economic growth. 2. Investment scale versus returns. The scale of investment in the BRI exceeding $1 trillion seems to indicate robust economic engagement. Yet many BRI projects have not yielded substantial economic returns, leading to skepticism about their viability. This disconnect challenges the assumption that higher investments automatically lead to successful outcomes in terms of economic growth and infrastructure utility, revealing the complexity of international investments. 3. Debt trap diplomacy versus development aid. Critics often label China's approach as debt trap diplomacy, where countries become ensnared in unsustainable debt levels. Interestingly, while this is a common narrative, many recipient nations willingly accept these loans, seeing them as opportunities for development despite the risks. This acceptance complicates the narrative, suggesting that the dynamics of international finance are not merely predatory but are also shaped by the aspirations of developing nations seeking modernization. 4. Shift from large projects to smaller initiatives. The BRI's pivot from large-scale projects to smaller and more elegant initiatives is often viewed as a retreat or sign of weakness. However, this shift could indicate a strategic recalibration, allowing China to engage more flexibly with diverse countries and address specific local needs while minimizing financial exposure. This evolution contrasts with the initial perception of the BRI as a monolithic aggressive expansionist strategy. 5. Corruption tolerance versus governance improvement. While China's willingness to overlook corruption in BRI projects is often criticized, it also presents a counterintuitive opportunity for governance improvement in recipient countries. By engaging in projects without stringent anti-corruption requirements, China opens pathways for these nations to modernize their infrastructure quickly. This approach challenges the conventional wisdom that strict governance is always a prerequisite for development. 6. Environmental concerns versus greening efforts. The BRI has faced criticism for environmental degradation. Yet there are substantial efforts being made to incorporate sustainability into its framework. Initiatives like the Green Investment Principles and commitments to reduce carbon-intensive projects showcase a nuanced approach that contrasts with the prevailing narrative of environmental irresponsibility. This duality suggests that while the BRI may have adverse effects, it is also capable of adapting to global sustainability trends. 7. Geopolitical strategy versus economic motivation. Many analyses frame the BRI as primarily an economic project, yet its geopolitical implications are profound. The initiative serves as a counterbalance to Western influence in regions like Africa and Southeast Asia, illustrating that economic actions can have significant political consequences. This intertwining of economics and geopolitics challenges the notion of clear-cut motivations behind international initiatives. 8. Long-term vision versus short-term gains. The perception that BRI projects must yield immediate returns overlooks China's long-term strategic vision. Investments in countries with significant geopolitical importance, even if economically unprofitable in the short term, are designed to foster relationships that may pay dividends in the future. This perspective challenges the conventional understanding of investment priorities, emphasizing the importance of strategic foresight over immediate profitability. 9. Western comparisons versus unique Chinese model. The tendency to compare the BRI with Western aid models often misses the unique characteristics of China's approach. Unlike the conditionalities often imposed by Western funding bodies, China's method of engagement is more flexible, adapting to the needs and governance structures of recipient countries. This adaptability suggests a different paradigm of international development that may be more appealing to nations seeking rapid modernization. 10. Global consensus versus fragmented reception. Despite the extensive network of partnerships under the BRI, the initiative's reception is far from uniform. While some countries embrace BRI investments, others express skepticism or outright opposition due to concerns over sovereignty and debt. This fragmentation challenges the notion of a global consensus on the BRI's benefits and highlights the varying geopolitical landscapes that influence each country's stance toward Chinese investment. In conclusion, the BRI is a complex and multifaceted initiative that defies simple categorizations. The interplay of economic, political, and social factors creates a landscape where conventional wisdom may not always hold true, revealing a set of counterintuitive dynamics that shape the future of global trade and international relations. In the context of China's Belt and Road Initiative BRI, there are several important content elements in the report that many readers may overlook, yet these nuances are significant for understanding the broader implications of the initiative on global trade, geopolitics, and international relations. 1. Shift from large-scale projects to smaller initiatives. One of the critical observations is the strategic shift from large infrastructure projects to smaller and more elegant initiatives. This transition is often framed as a response to financial limitations and international criticism. However, the significance lies in recognizing that this change reflects a deeper recalibration of China's global strategy. By focusing on smaller projects, China is not merely reacting to external pressures but is also adapting to the changing economic landscape of its partner countries. Many of these nations struggle with the debt incurred from previous large-scale projects, which can lead to a backlash against Chinese investments. By pivoting to smaller projects, China can mitigate the financial burden on these countries, thereby maintaining influence without overwhelming them with debt. This approach could also foster more sustainable partnerships, as smaller projects may be more manageable and better aligned with the immediate needs of local populations. 2. Environmental considerations and the Green BRI. Another often overlooked aspect is the growing emphasis on environmental sustainability within the BRI framework. The introduction of the Green Investment Principles (GIP) and various initiatives aimed at greening the BRI demonstrate an acknowledgement of environmental concerns that have been raised by international observers. This shift is significant for several reasons. First, it positions China as a leader in the global discourse on sustainable development, countering criticisms that BRI projects contribute to environmental degradation. Second, it aligns with global trends towards greener economies, thereby making Chinese investments more attractive to countries prioritizing sustainability. Additionally, adopting a green narrative can improve China's image in the global south and among Western nations, which increasingly value environmental responsibility. 3. Debt trap diplomacy versus strategic political tool. The narrative around debt trap diplomacy has gained traction, suggesting that China deliberately places countries in debt to exert control. However, the report highlights that this perspective oversimplifies the complex dynamics at play. Many recipient countries willingly engage in projects that they perceive as beneficial for their development, often overlooking the potential risks associated with high levels of debt. The significance of this perspective is that it reframes the BRI as a strategic political tool rather than just an economic initiative. By fostering infrastructure development, China enhances its diplomatic relations and soft power, building long-term partnerships that may offer geopolitical advantages. This understanding complicates the narrative of exploitation and positions the BRI as a multifaceted approach to global engagement. 4. The role of digital connectivity. Digital connectivity projects such as satellite internet initiatives in places like Mozambique illustrate an expanding dimension of the BRI that often gets less attention. The significance of these projects lies in their potential to transform economies by providing essential digital infrastructure. In a global economy increasingly driven by technology and data, enhancing digital connectivity can lead to substantial economic growth and development. It allows countries to connect with global markets, access information, and improve public services. By investing in digital infrastructure, China not only serves its economic interests but also positions itself as an essential partner in the technological advancement of developing nations. 5. Geopolitical implications and global order. The report hints at the BRI's role in reshaping the global order, particularly in relation to US-China tensions. As the BRI continues to expand, it poses a challenge to US influence in regions traditionally under Western sway. China's investments in strategic locations such as Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America signify an assertive foreign policy that seeks to establish a new order that contrasts with existing Western-led frameworks. Understanding this geopolitical dimension is crucial for comprehending the BRI's long-term implications. It is not merely about economic investment, it is about establishing a Chinese-led alternative to the established international order. This shift could lead to significant geopolitical realignments as countries navigate between competing influences. 6. Cultural exchange and human capital development. Lastly, the report touches upon the aspect of people-to-people bonds and cultural exchanges facilitated by the BRI. These initiatives often go unnoticed compared to the more tangible infrastructure projects. However, fostering educational and cultural ties is vital for long-term relationship building. The significance of such exchanges lies in their potential to create a shared understanding and goodwill between China and recipient countries. By investing in human capital development, such as scholarships for students from BRI countries to study in China, the initiative builds a network of individuals who may play influential roles in their home countries in the future. This can help solidify China's influence and foster a favorable environment for continued investment and cooperation. Conclusion. In summary, while the BRI is often scrutinized for its economic implications, the nuances underlying its strategy reveal a multifaceted approach that encompasses environmental sustainability, digital connectivity, and geopolitical considerations. Recognizing these aspects is essential for a comprehensive understanding of how the BRI is set to transform global trade and international relations by 2025 and beyond. These overlooked elements highlight the initiative's complexity and its potential to redefine the dynamics of global engagement in the coming years. For valuable points for in-depth analysis of China's Belt and Road Initiative BRI. 1. Scale and impact of investment. The Belt and Road Initiative BRI represents a monumental scale of investment with over $1 trillion committed to various infrastructure projects since its inception in 2013. This funding has facilitated more than 200 cooperation agreements across over 150 countries, highlighting BRI's role as a pivotal player in global trade and development. The initiative encompasses a diverse array of projects including transportation networks, energy infrastructure, and digital connectivity efforts. Analyzing the implications of such extensive investment, both positive and negative, will shed light on how BRI is reshaping economic landscapes, particularly in developing nations. Furthermore, the impact of these investments on local economies, job creation, and long-term development needs to be critically assessed, especially in the context of the sustainability of these projects. 2. Geopolitical significance and strategic tool. Beyond its economic objectives, the BRI serves as a strategic political tool for China, enhancing its influence in Asia, Africa, and Europe. This geopolitical aspect is crucial as it allows China to forge diplomatic ties and extend its soft power. The initiative is often perceived as a counterbalance to Western influence, particularly in regions traditionally dominated by Western countries. Discussions around BRI should consider how China's investment strategies are used to solidify alliances, increase access to resources, and create a network of dependencies that could be leveraged in its favor. Additionally, the evolving nature of BRI projects to include smaller, more targeted investments reflects a shift in strategy that warrants examination. This could indicate a response to both domestic economic pressures and international criticism regarding debt diplomacy and project sustainability. 3. Debt diplomacy and economic risks. A significant concern surrounding the BRI is the notion of debt trap diplomacy, where recipient countries incur unsustainable levels of debt due to Chinese financing. Critics argue that many developing nations struggle to meet repayment obligations, leading to potential economic crises that could compromise their sovereignty. This aspect of BRI necessitates a detailed analysis of the financial structures involved, the transparency of agreements, and the long-term economic viability of projects. Additionally, it's essential to explore how China manages these risks, particularly in light of rising scrutiny over the sustainability of its loans and projects and the potential for default among participating countries. This discussion should also consider how BRI projects can be adjusted or restructured to mitigate risks for both China and its partners. 4. Environmental and sustainability concerns. The BRI has faced increasing criticism regarding its environmental impact, with many projects contributing to ecological degradation and carbon emissions. However, China has begun to address these concerns through initiatives aimed at promoting sustainable practices within BRI projects. The introduction of the green investment principles and efforts to align with international sustainability standards signal a shift towards more environmentally conscious development strategies. Analyzing how these principles are implemented in practice, the challenges faced in enforcing sustainability measures, and the overall effectiveness of these efforts will be critical. Furthermore, assessing the balance between economic development and environmental stewardship within the BRI framework will provide insights into its long-term viability and global perception. Conclusion: the Belt and Road Initiative is a complex and multifaceted program that has significant implications for global trade, geopolitics, and sustainable development. By exploring the scale of investment, geopolitical strategies, economic risks associated with debt, and environmental sustainability concerns, we can gain a deeper understanding of the BRI's transformative potential and the challenges it faces. These points of analysis not only highlight the BRI's role in reshaping global economic dynamics but also raise critical questions about the future of international cooperation and development in a rapidly changing world. 1. Marshall Plan 1948. After World War II, the United States initiated the Marshall Plan, an extensive economic aid program aimed at rebuilding European economies. The plan provided over $12 billion, approximately $140 billion in today's dollars, to help revitalize war-torn nations, prevent the spread of communism, and foster economic cooperation. Similar to the Belt and Road Initiative BRI, the Marshall Plan emphasized infrastructure development, economic integration, and political stability. Critics noted that it served U.S. geopolitical interests, much like how BRI is perceived to enhance China's influence. 2. The Suez Canal 1869. The construction of the Suez Canal was a monumental engineering project that transformed global trade routes by connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. It significantly reduced travel time for ships between Europe and Asia. The canal's strategic importance drew international attention and investment, fostering economic ties while also creating geopolitical tensions. The Suez Canal exemplifies how major infrastructure projects can reshape trade dynamics and influence global politics, akin to the objectives of the BRI. 3. The Transcontinental Railroad 1869. The completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in the United States connected the eastern and western coasts, facilitating trade migration and economic expansion. This massive infrastructure project required substantial investment and labor, transforming the American economy and society. It also had significant political implications as it reinforced federal authority and territorial control. The parallels to the BRI lie in the ambitious scale of investment and the transformative impact on connectivity and commerce. Future outlook: predictions for China's Belt and Road Initiative BRI by 2025. As the Belt and Road Initiative BRI approaches its second decade, its evolution will likely shape the future of global trade and infrastructure development significantly. Here are some key predictions for the BRI's trajectory by 2025. 1. Shift to smaller projects. In response to financial constraints and growing international criticism, China will increasingly focus on small and elegant projects. This shift will prioritize community-level initiatives such as digital infrastructure upgrades and renewable energy installations over large-scale infrastructure. Such projects are likely to have immediate impacts on local economies and improve China's soft power in recipient countries. 2. Increased emphasis on sustainability. Environmental concerns surrounding BRI projects will prompt a stronger commitment to sustainable practices. By 2025, China may implement stricter environmental guidelines and invest in green technologies as part of the BRI. This could include financing for projects that utilize renewable energy sources or incorporate sustainable construction practices aligning with global trends toward climate action. 3. Enhanced digital connectivity. Digital infrastructure will become a core component of the BRI. Initiatives like the deployment of satellite internet in underserved regions are expected to proliferate. By 2025, digital connectivity projects will likely enhance trade efficiency and economic growth in participating countries, thereby making them more reliant on Chinese technology and expertise. 4. Continued political tool. The BRI will maintain its status as a geopolitical tool for China. As tensions with the West persist, China is likely to leverage the BRI to solidify alliances, particularly in Africa, South Asia, and Central Asia. Expect to see more partnerships focused on critical infrastructure that aligns with China's strategic interests, such as resource extraction and trade routes. 5. Debt diplomacy concerns. Issues surrounding debt distress in recipient countries will continue to spark debate. By 2025, China may adopt a more cautious approach to lending, emphasizing debt sustainability and seeking to mitigate the risks of debt trap diplomacy. This shift could involve restructuring existing loans or developing frameworks that allow for more flexible repayment terms. 6. Increased competition from the West. The BRI will face intensified competition from Western initiatives aimed at countering China's influence. The US and European countries are likely to ramp up their infrastructure investments in the Global South, presenting alternatives to the BRI. This could lead to a more competitive environment for infrastructure projects, with countries being more selective in their partnerships. 7. Fostering local partnerships. China will likely focus on building partnerships with local companies and governments in BRI countries. By collaborating with local stakeholders, China can enhance project sustainability and community support while reducing the risk of backlash against foreign investment. This approach may help mitigate the political and social risks associated with BRI projects. 8. Technology transfer in human resource development. By 2025, the BRI is expected to prioritize technology transfer and capacity building in recipient countries. This could involve training programs for local workers and the establishment of technology parks to foster innovation, thereby creating a win-win scenario that strengthens local economies while ensuring a long-term Chinese presence. 9. Stronger focus on infrastructure resilience. The impact of climate change and natural disasters will lead to a greater emphasis on resilient infrastructure. China is likely to incorporate climate adaptation strategies into BRI projects to ensure they can withstand environmental challenges, thus addressing critiques of previous projects that have overlooked sustainability. 10. Evolving public perception. The narrative around the BRI is likely to evolve by 2025, with a potential shift from skepticism to recognition of its benefits. As smaller community-focused projects yield tangible results, there may be a growing acceptance of the BRI in recipient countries, which could enhance China's diplomatic standing globally. In conclusion, the BRI is poised for transformation as it adapts to economic realities and geopolitical shifts. By 2025, its focus on smaller sustainable projects, enhanced digital connectivity, and local partnerships will likely redefine its impact on global trade and infrastructure development. While challenges remain, including managing debt and responding to competition, the BRI's strategic importance to China and participating nations will endure.